Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. Welcome. Let's slay some demons. Sisters and brothers and sisters. We're going to talk about angel warriors. What is an angel warrior? What does it take to be an angel warrior? So we're going to talk about a few things here. Hope you understand, because we're at war, brothers and sisters, and you need to be ready, because it's about to kick into the next gear, and it's going to happen very fast. First, a couple of things. America has been in darkness since its foundation. Master Muhammad came, he started setting up lights in America. See, he said, Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad started setting lights. But the lights were never turned on because a usurper, a liar, a demon came and snuffed it all out. Farrakhan. Because Elijah Muhammad, he characterized himself as the moon. The moon doesn't have light of its own, but reflects light. And once the moon was taken out of the way, right, the usurper come and block the light. But now it says that after his 40-year reign, son of perdition, right, it said Suleiman will come, consume him with the spirit of his mouth, destroy with the brightness of his appearance, and his appearance will be like 7 times brighter than the sun. That's the angel. Light's about to come on in America. We got all these rats and roaches crawling around, scurrying around. You can hear them, but you can't see them. See? You got identity theft. People pretend to be what they're not. See? Devils pretend to be angels. Oh, total darkness. See? Lies about everything. That's the darkness. It says spiritual darkness. We not struggle against flesh and blood, but evil spirits in high places. Talking about these demons and devils that run all around, skirting all around, but see, under cover of darkness. So they can pretend they're someone they're not. Oh, see, I'm your friend. See, they're standing right in front of you with a knife and vicious fangs, but you can't see them. All you hear is a smile. Oh, I'm your friend. But the light's about to come on. Suppose, see, the light is already shining. It just hasn't come into full brightness. It's going to shine as bright, 7 times the brightness of the sun. Like, you know, when like the dawn, you see the light start breaking over the horizon just a little bit. But as it gets closer and closer and closer to noon, it's brighter and brighter and brighter. To noontime, it's very bright, very hot. That's what's happening, brothers and sisters. Sun's rising. See, it says rise east, it says in the west, right? Oh, you say, oh, way out there. No, we're talking about America. That means it rises on the east coast, sets on the west coast. See, but it's not setting. When it sets, see, when it sets, finally sets here, we're going to be going. Then they're going to be in darkness like you never believed. But right now, the light's coming on. They've been exposed. See, you didn't know who. See, just think about it. Those of you just waking up, listen. You see a light. You already see it because you didn't know who the demons were. They was all around you. You didn't know who they were. They was all around you. You didn't know who they were. Before Elijah Muhammad, you didn't know who the devils were. You thought it was a red little thing, men running around with tails, hiding under the ground with a pitchfork. See, the light's coming on. See, an angel is exposing everything. They say, oh, the Quran not tell you. The Quran, you know who the jinn are? You know who the Quran's not telling you who all those things are. because they're still confused. They still say they're invisible. When they tell you they're invisible, when people tell you these things are invisible, brothers and sisters, when they tell you, they don't know what they mean. They don't know what they are. So that's their easy way of saying. See, that's their cop out of saying they don't know what the hell they are. See, oh well, you can't see God. See, that's their cop out because they don't know who He is. You can't see the angels. That's a cop out because they don't know who they are. You can't see the demons. It's a cop out because they don't know who they are. You can't see a jinn. Cop out because they don't know who they are. See, that's their cop out. They don't know who they are. That's why I tell you, you can't see them. They can't see them. See, they're blind to them. So they cop out. Well, you can't see those things. Why can't you? Abraham saw them. Did Prophet Muhammad see Gabriel? Abraham saw God. So he didn't see the angels. See, the angel was told to submit to Adam. Now, how could angels submit to Adam? And Adam, they would be submitted to Adam. Adam can't see him, can't talk to him. So how in the hell did they submit to him if he can't talk to him? You know where they are, can't see him. See, they don't know. That's their cop out. They're invisible. So when they come and tell you that God's invisible, that everywhere you can't see him, you can't see the angels. You know, you got this invisible soul. You know that happen that goes with you when you die, and all this kind of stuff. That's their cop out of saying they don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's their cop out because they don't know where they are. And the angel explains all of it. The angel tell you all of it. I mean, there's nothing that's uncovered. You understand? There's nothing that the angel doesn't uncover. That's why it's the book of this time. The angel uncovers it all. It explains who the demons are, who the devils are, who the jinn is, who the golden calf is, all of it. And those you study, now you know all of it. That means light is coming on in your mind. See? But light is coming on totally. See, it's already coming on a little bit. Now they're starting to speak against themselves. Right? This critical race theory. That means the light is coming on in America, brothers and sisters. See? When the devil starts seeing other devils, right? They tell you. See, they started, because light's coming on. So they calling out themselves. Because when the light's on, everybody can see them. There's hiding anymore. So now they're not even hiding anymore. They spread it. They're not hiding anymore. They're saying who they are. The light's coming on. Don't you understand? You, brothers and sisters, you have to pay close attention to what's going on. You study, right? But you have to understand how it's working in the world. So light's coming on in America because critical race theory is a light that's coming on that was hit. Now a light is coming on. So that means light is getting brighter. They won't start talking this before 2020. Now it's a critical race theory. It's spreading all over the country. They're arguing against it. They're trying to put the light back out because that's the truth. That's the truth. And even the devils and demons are accepting it. Why? Because it's the truth. They can't hide anymore. I mean, you can talk about something you want to, but when it start coming up, right? If you got any kind of eyes on, you can see, hey man, that sun's coming up, right? Man, that's a mountain there. That's a car there. That's a train. I mean, you can't deny it. See? Oh man, I've been sleeping next to a wolf. You can't deny it because it's for everybody to see. And that's just the light is still dim. It's gonna be 7 times brighter. They complain about the critical race theory. Wait till what happens when Farrakhan's demons are kicked out and the ancient days set. This place is gonna be so bright, right, that even a person Ray Charles could see. Because the truth is gonna be spread from, as the Quran says, like rivers, like the Bible says, right? See, it's going to drown these people because the truth will be totally clear. See, false Israel was just fueling this false vision, fueling this darkness. It's going to be gone, so there's nothing to fuel that darkness anymore. There's nothing they can't say. That's false. That was Israel. That admit that we're the true Israel. That in itself is 7 times brighter than anything that you can imagine. If they have to admit that, because that destroys their whole vision. That destroys the source of their whole entire vision. And light is coming on right now. But like I said, brothers and sisters, the wind is blowing because you can't see the wind, but you see the trees shaking, you see the leaves falling. So who would have thought that these people would be teaching critical race theory all over to all their students? Who would have thought? Because that's basically Elijah Muhammad's message. That's Elijah Muhammad's message. They're teaching all the schools to their own children. They wasn't doing that before 2020. Why? Because 2019, right? 16, 19, 2019, right? 400, they knew about the Abrahamic covenant. I keep telling these people, these these people, they study this from the womb, right? Those are the Jewish persuasion. They study this from the womb. They taught this. Exodus is the whole nature. Exodus is basically their whole foundation of Judaism. So when they saw 2020 come in, they saw it killing the elderly, and mostly it was Caucasians dying. They knew exactly what that meant. So boom. So now what we're going to do? We either going to take and snuff this light out, or we're going to try to get on the best side of it. So the critical race theorists, they're trying to get on the best side of it. The other buddy trying to snuff it out. Understand, brothers and sisters. So we're going to go into this. See? But we need to prepare. Angel warriors. You need to understand the times clearly. Understand your place in it and what to do. So we're going to talk about a few things, brothers. It's going to take a little while. We'll take about a few things. So just hang on. Put your seatbelt on, brothers, because we're going to take a little ride here today. This is our reality. It's coming with a bang. They're trying to snuff it, see, it says they're going to try to abort it in the birth canal. See? So there's going to be two aspects of it. One to be born before it travails, and one born after it travails. See, that's the ones that go to tribulation. But you says, you will not hear the faintest sounds of raging warriors of hell. This is what they're trying to stop. They're trying at all costs. They're racing to bring in their analytical vision, their mechanical, electronic vision. They're racing. See, that means they got to destroy our biological vision. This is the vision of the Quran, vision of the Bible that you claim you believe in. That's the vision, not this vision that they have of, let me give you an example here. See, this is the vision that they have. See, that's the vision they have. That's not the vision. That's not the vision of the Bible or the Quran. See, this vision right here is taking us to the mechanical, electronic age. Destruction, total destruction of the biological creation, nuclear war. See? Cyborgs, this Terminator stuff, cyborg, $1 million man stuff. That's a racing towards it. It's computers, all this stuff is racing towards it. We talked about that, so we're going to move on. Again, what vision will win the war of Armageddon? What vision? Our vision over here? See? Or this mechanical man who's standing there, that's the vision he's trying to achieve, to get rid of our vision. He's watching. He's trying to achieve this. Once he achieves this, then he destroy our vision. Because right now, he still needs the biological world to achieve, right? To achieve his vision. He needs our creativity. Once he gets to where then he don't need us anymore. Okay. Again, it's our vision. Putting our woman back on top of civilization where she belongs. She suffered more than we did. I mean, the way they did her in our presence is our duty to protect her, and we did not. Now, knock your brothers and sisters, we agreed to go through this, and she agreed to go through with us, because if she had, we wouldn't have survived it. See? But they had her picking out the cotton just as much, picking that cotton, break back and work just as much as we had us out there doing it. See, but then if they got an urge, they just jump down off their horse and jump down on her and do whatever they want to do with her, and then she go right back to picking that cotton. And they might do it 3 or 4 times a day, rape her, and nothing damn thing she could do about it. Then she get pregnant, she carry that baby out there picking that cotton, breaking the back work. You didn't get much sleep, brothers and sisters. You didn't get any restful sleep. You don't have no idea what they did to us. They call it slavery. Right now, you have a problem. Most likely, you have a problem with 8 hours sleep. You didn't get that. You didn't get any rest. You get sit back and watch NFL and that kind of stuff. You worked until as long as they could work you in that field and you could see. They could see you. When they got to the point they couldn't see you and they didn't have enough light. Remember, they had electricity back then. When they had torches, whatever they could, because they had to keep an eye on you. Then, okay, then they drag you back, right? Get you some slop to eat, right? By the time you got back, you were so tired, right? Only thing you can do is want to lay down. That might be what, 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night or whatever? And the women, they was in for another round of rape, maybe all night long. Then 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, right? So you got 3 or 4 hours sleep maybe, at best. You was tired as hell. By the time you roll up, you ain't tired to take no bath. You couldn't take a bath anyway. They won't let you do that. By the time you rolled over, it's time to get back up. You was tired as hell. And then they got right back out in that field again. That's why you was aging so fast. Look at those old things. Go in there and do some ancestry stuff. You find those people that look 89 years old, some was 30 and 40 years old. They didn't get any rest. When they got home, they didn't have time to talk to anybody, see these movies, or they had a family dinner, all that stuff. Brothers didn't go down like that. They didn't have no dinner. They didn't give them any food. They fed them just like they fed hogs. No trough. Chitlins, garbage to eat. Manure, anything might be in it. Half cooked it all. That's where they fed you. And if you died, right, and they ran out of food, they chop you up and throw you in there, throw a piece of you in there too. Brothers and sisters, you had no idea. See, so the sisters had more, because then even a few hours that you might catch a sleep, hell, they was raping up on her, so she might have got no sleep at all. Then back out in the field first thing in the morning, and she might be pregnant. We owe her. And brothers and sisters, brothers out here, if you got any balls, when you see these Negroes out there calling them bitches and all that kind of stuff, you should remove their balls. Yeah, you got some demons, blacks out there. We don't care about them. But our sisters, seed of Abraham, and you calling them bitches and putting them in these stupid movies and making fools of them and stuff you doing. And I know some of them are difficult. I've been running some of them. I'm talking about these seed of Abraham sisters, right? But they still been patient with us, or we wouldn't be here now. They angry. They should be angry. Why wouldn't you be angry if you was with them? You might say, so I know they're angry. See? They got a right to be angry. But now here it is, after going through all that, and then you stepping up out of all that, and now you call yourself free, and then what you do? You get a few dollars in your pocket, a few ducats, right, in your pocket, and you step all over that sister to get one of your master's daughters. Step all over her. Give her your money, your wealth, and everything else. And didn't you don't love your mother? You know, your mother was black. And you celebrate those people. What's his name? The one that got killed or whatever, right? And you celebrate them. And they couldn't find one black woman out of 34 million. And you celebrate them. Vina, Serena, whatever, Tiger, all these clowns. After all these sisters went through, they don't deserve anything. You spit right over them, running to get master's children, because most of you are demons. That's why you're doing that. Because you want a master's children too. That's just out there, and she out there in rags, some homeless and everything. You step right over them. You don't, and then you're in love with your master. in love with Master. After all him done, that means you don't give a damn about your mother, your father, and you definitely don't give a damn about your women because you don't even care about avenging your women. Any race on the planet avenges their women. Any nation that exists, they got any balls, you don't want to avenge your women. You tell them we got to get along, we got to forgive. I mean, they're all wasn't so bad back. That's the past. We got to forget about it. We're going to forget about you in a minute. You sisters, you Abraham seed, don't worry. We're going to take care of you. We'll put you back where you belong. Mother civilization, goddess of the universe, set you up high where you belong. You never come back down again. And anybody that even think and even thought about you, they better be looking for another universe and leave their ass behind because everything they have belongs to us. And they better go quick because they don't want to get their hands, says, woe to those who fall in the hands of the Suleiman. Whoa. Mm-mm. Okay, brothers, this is angel warriors. What's the angel warrior? Angel warrior is pretty much what it says, right? They got the angel. They study the angel. Because once you study the angel, you qualify to be a prophet by definition because the angel is all about prophecy. Tells you everything. No other prophet ever had this. Prophet Muhammad didn't have it because the Prophet Muhammad couldn't tell you all the general stuff was. He couldn't tell you. This tells you everything. Tells you everything, plus tell you what's going to happen in detail. No other prophet or messenger in history ever had this. So once you get that, you are a prophet, a prophetess. You're also an angel warrior. See, but you'll be an effective angel warrior. We got to get all the tools, and we're going to talk about some of those tools in more detail, so you understand how to use those tools, right? To be more effective against your enemies, because you know who your enemies are. These devils don't know. These demons out here don't know what the enemies are, but we don't care because they are enemies. But most of our people don't know what enemies. That's why I say lost because of lack of knowledge. Most of our people don't know who the enemies are. Most of it, 99% doesn't know. And 85% definitely don't know. As Muhammad said, 85% was, lost, deceived. Okay, this is one of the things we're really going to get into. So let me get this out of the way here. Yeah, put it back here. That should work. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart, I test the mind, to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his doings. Now, it's not talking about our natural heart, see? But it's talking about the heart of the wicked, but we're afflicted with the same situation because we're here in the center of the storm. Because they have transformed our hearts into beast hearts, like it said in Daniel. Hearts was transformed into beast hearts. Same thing says in Mark, right? So that's a very important scripture right there. It's desperately wicked. Heart is deceitful above all things. That's because you don't understand what the heart is, what it does. You think it just pump blood. Heart does far more than that, brothers and sisters, far more than that. See, the brain is the intellectual part, but that's only part of your being. What about the physical parts, right? Social, the emotional, all that stuff, interaction with people and everything. Because brain, it thinks and memory, but the heart has memory too, physical memory. Brain has intellectual memory, heart has physical memory, because the heart interacts with everything. Hearts connect everything. You don't know the depths. That's why it says, who could know it? So we have to make you understand what your heart is all about, brothers and sisters, because you don't know. It says it's deceitful above all. Deceitful? How can heart be deceitful? Does it part of the brain? See? So that means it's something, heart is more intelligent than you think it is. It has a different type of intelligence. You have intellectual intelligence, but the heart has a different spiritual intelligence. See? And deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Desperately wicked. It means if you don't have control of your heart, it's going to there's no end to how wicked it could become. Desperately wicked. You can become the worst beast. They made turn us into beasts, didn't they? They turned us into beasts. Look at most of us right now, still on the beast level. Look how we interact with each other. See? But it says, I will give every man according to his ways and according to the fruits of his doing. Does that mean that sounds like we're going to forgive the master for what he's done? It says, according to his ways. What was his ways? Was his ways righteous ways? Then genocide, murder, theft, rape, oppression, slavery, destruction, disease. Well, that's the ways of a righteous God, righteous, right? According to his fruit. What's the fruits of all this? Are they sitting on someone else's land? Does it belong to them? Think about that, bro. Says we're going to talk about this hard. So in ways that we haven't talked about before. But first, I want to talk about this one thing about demons. But I keep talking about pressure. Now, I want you to understand another. See, most of you, I'm not sure. I can't say if you're studying pressure or not. Some of you might not be studying because you think it's kind of complicated. It's very simple, actually. It's very simple. Maybe I have an interactive class with everybody that's kind of really go through it because you need to understand it because that's your reality. Because it shows the way you look at things. Because, like, for instance, like I'll tell you, if you don't understand pressure, because pressure and force the same thing. Pressure is just force spread out. So you get an analytical mind, and someone's bugging them. They say, "Well, I kill him." And they think, "Oh, well, they got him out the way." But when you understand pressure, you didn't get him out the way, or you just transform into another form, right? And just come at your way that where you can't see him. Because when you saw him, you saw what it was, you identified it, right? So when you say mass times acceleration equals force, right? So you kill it, the force still remains. But now maybe you split it into 2 parts, or 5 parts, 10 parts. So now you got 10. See, because someone else could pick up that force. So now you got 10 enemies. That each of them is weaker than the first one. So in other words, say you got, it's 12. So the enemy is, the force he's flicking is 12 units. So kill him, bam. You still got 12 units of force against you. It comes in a different form. So now instead, that was 1 person, but now it might come into 2 people. Now you got 2, each one of them is 6 units of force. Maybe you have 4 people, each one with 3 units of force, right? Maybe you have 6 people, each one with 2 units of force. Maybe you have 12 people, each one, but now you can't recognize them, and they now instead of right now each one of them, one is poking, one's stealing your money, right? One's giving you disease, one is doing something to your daughter, whatever. See what I'm saying? You haven't, all you changed was the quality. You haven't changed the quantity. All you changed the quality, and you put it in a form that you can recognize now. See, before you recognize your enemy, now you don't recognize him because now he's a different form. But he's still there. When you understand pressure, you understand it makes no sense to do that unless that's your purpose is to change the quality. In other words, I don't like chocolate ice cream. I want some vanilla ice cream. Well, it's still want ice cream, but you just have the flavor. So you don't like that flavor of the problem. So you want to change to a flavor that you can deal with better. I mean, there's some wisdom in that. Anyway, what I'm showing here is this us? The black represents us. The red represents the demons that separate guys all separated against each other. See, because that's the chaff and wheat all mixed together. So because we got all that chaff near the red ones, the demons, they got us all separated. We're not unified. That's what's keeping us from being unified. Farrakhan, these demons encounter with their BS, their Scientology, like crap they're doing. So how do you solve that problem? See, remember we talking about the 4 winds? It's going to force all together. So we're going to try to give you a demonstration of how that works. Boom, now we got all forced together. But see, when you force together, see those arrows, that means the tension builds up now to pull you back apart. See, if you force them together, like if you take and say you're between 2 walls, right? And you got a big strong rubber band on one wall, another rubber band, another wall, and then you pull them 2 together, right? It takes a lot of strength to pull them together, right? See, you pull them together, and now, oh, man, it took me, you really put a lot of tension in those rubber bands. You pull it together. But now, the more you pull together, the more tension. So now, but it takes a lot of, as much strength it took you to pull together, that's much strength it will take to maintain it there. But if your strength fails and you can't hold it, boom, it snaps back like it was. So that's what's happening because now as you're pushing it, now you got all that tension trying to pull it back apart. So you got to keep putting force to keep it back together. See, so we all push together, but now you got this force trying to pull it back apart. Because see, Suleiman, he's going to be able to force all us together with the four winds, force all together. That's why I said the harvest will be the chaff and the wheat. We're going to be all forced together. See, but when you do that, right, the weakest one gives way first. So if you pull these two things together, right, you pull these two things together, right, you pull these two things together. Now the force is trying to pull it back apart, right? See, so you're trying to hold it together, but your left arm is maybe weaker if you're right-handed. So that's the first one's going to give. This is the first one going to give, right? See, and then eventually, so the weakest one is going to give first. So that's what happens. So demons are weaker than weak. So when he's pulling together, this is what happens. Bam. See, now it's separated because that separates them out. Because now they're on the outside, we're on the inside. Now we can easy separate them out. Just get rid of them. Because now we're united and they're united, right? That's why it says once we're united, and they're gonna be united, but they're gonna be destroyed. They're gonna tear this country apart. They're gonna be united too. They're gonna be united too. Everybody gonna be tearing this country apart because we're gonna reject them. We don't want them, and America's trying to get rid of them. So now they're fighting for their lives because we don't want them. We already reject them. We threw them back. See, that's why it says. Remember the story of Mark? You need to read that story. Brothers and sisters, you need to study that story because that's one of the things you need to read it to be a good angel warrior. You need to be familiar with that story, understand it, because that's what happened once the demons was dispatched, right? Separated, right? They were thrown back into swine daddies, and they went off the cliff together. They got to fighting together. They went to why? Because there was a peace, and then when it went to them, they got to fight and went to destroy them. They destroyed each other. Read that story, brothers. That's what happened. That's how we do it. When four winds blow, well, right? All come together, right? See? And then as we unify, force them out. So now all the blacks together, all the demons together, demons are going back to the devil daddies and for destruction, and we're going home. So we're going to get into the 5 mathematical pillars of Islam. See? That, right? That's your weapon. It's your armor. The angel is your real weapon. That's your most powerful weapon. But this is also your weapon. I'm going to show you how it's part of your weapon too. See? So we're going to get to the main one I want to talk about. I want to get to the heart. But we know the first one, consequence. The consequence is the base of all of them. Consequence is the most fundamental principle in the universe because consequence is about every action has absolute equal reaction. That means force. Force, pressure comes out of force. Force is the most fundamental principle. Everything is based on force. Without force, there's nothing. Energy is force. Right? That's the first one. See, that's a faith. That means what? That means you have faith in facts, something that's provable. It means you have faith in mathematics. That's what it means. Because you say faith in God. Well, God is mathematics. See, God's do what? Justice. See, that's mathematics. See, consequence, reward. That's mathematics. Do you have faith that because Christians don't have that faith in that. They can do anything they want to. It's up to Jesus. It's not up to mathematics happening to them. It's not having to do with mathematics happening to them. It's Jesus who has something to do with it. That's why they poison their children with that garbage. First lesson they get a child is not to think, not to use mathematics. Oh, Mom, what's that white man on the wall for? Why are you asking that for? That's Jesus. Why how come he not black? Don't ask no questions like that, brother. No, you can't ask any question about your reality. Damn, shut up. So don't talk. Don't ask no questions. Just believe, because your whole success in life depends on Jesus, not on mathematics. Not about how hard you work, how much you learn, right? See, How much you study? No. Your fate and fate, they talk about fate, see that's bull, there's no such thing. But fate and destiny depends on not on how much you learn, how much you study, depends on how much you believe in Jesus, that you can't prove, don't even know exists. So you destroyed your child's mind right, come right out the womb with that BS. So there it is, right? Consequence. Perfect example right there. See? Every action has opposite reaction. See, the force is those in the middle don't even move because the force is transmitted all the way to that one on the end. Torque. And this is what we're going to get into our main. That's the heart. We talk about different things about the heart. We're talking about in terms of an angel warrior. Now, first of all, reciting the Quran. See, you understand what reciting the Quran is all about. The Quran comes from Allah himself. Allah has the firmness of heart. How his heart became as firm as it is, that's not the question here. The question is, he has it. So that's why the Quran is called a recital. So when he speaks, when you speak, it's coming from the heart. The words might be coming from the brain, but spirit, right? Everything is coming from the heart. The way you say it, your tone and everything, that's coming from the heart. Just like, what if you was nervous and you was talking? Well, then you have a nervous voice. Well, the nerves didn't come from the brain, it came from the heart. If you're scared, you're going to come in the voice. That's coming from the heart, not the brain. So, if you repeat, remember, you take his words come from a firm heart. So by you repeating those words, the recital, right, you inculcating his firmness into your heart. You're reversing the process. Because now you're saying those words, so it's affecting your heart. So now your heart, the more you do it, the more firm your heart becomes. See? Fear comes from a heart that's not firm. The more loose your heart is, the more weak your heart, the more less firm it is, right? The more fear you have. Because fear, your heart's trembling. That's what fear is, your heart's trembling. But firm, it won't be trembling. Something that's firm does not tremble. So the more you say it, you take the Quran says there's no fear for them. Because you remove that fear. After a while, you'll be fearless. Fearless. See? And it accumulates. See? Because it adds up. But the point is also, it adds up. So as you move through life, the more you do it, it adds up. So you become less fearless the more you recite every day. See? It accumulates. See? And then the heart, right? The heart is the engine of the circulatory system. Anything that circulates, right, spins, anything that spins produces torque. Torque's an uplifting force. Right. So now you're firm and you're spinning, right? So that means you're firm in your movement. Because you take a gyroscope, right? It's firm, it's metal, but you have to spin it, and then it'll walk that tightrope right there without falling off. You can't push it off. See, why would it do that? It walks, it won't fall off. Even if at an angle, it'd be at an angle and it still won't fall off. You say, how the hell it can stay there at an angle, not straight up, but an angle, at a 45-degree angle, and it still will walk that rope. See? So that's why Abraham said, make firm my feet. See? So that's two aspects right there. Fear, firmness, right? See? Steadfastness, right? See, hard to move. So people, oh, he's stubborn. Well, stubbornness is a good quality, as long as you use it in the right way. If you're stubbornly stupid, then that's bad quality. If you're stubbornly smart, because that's why every prophet and messenger had to be stubborn. They had to be stubborn and stay with that truth no matter what odds they ran against. See? So we're going to talk about another aspect of this. So those are things, right? So let's go a little deeper here. Because I want to talk about something else I haven't talked about before. That's the second talk, that's the second mathematical proof of Islam. Now we said the heart is like an antenna, see, because it vibrates, see. And so your emotions, everything in there, all that stuff, and so it transmits. It also receives. So other hearts pick it up. And like any antenna, right, the closer you are to the source, the more powerful the transmission. So you're influenced by other hearts. The ones you're influenced most by are the ones closest to you. And also the ones that's the firmest. We're going to talk about that in a minute, right? See? So that's the base of tuning. I'm not going into all that here. That's not the purpose. All the hearts are connected. See? So it's like an antenna. Also talked about it's like a, what do you call it, cushion, right? So shock absorber, right? Because you interact with people. See, pressure means you're interacting with other people. Molecules that interact with each other. That's they're colliding. That's what the pressure is. See, once they get in harmony, not colliding more, there's no pressure anymore. You have harmonic motion. But as long as they're colliding, interacting with each other, that's pressure. Now, it depends on how great their interaction is. It could be a fatal interaction if it's a really hard one, or it could be a mild one. It could be one that's acceptable, like intimacy or, or hugging and stuff, right? Those are collisions, right? There's certain trauma goes there, but you accept that because the benefit of it overrides, right? Outweighs, right? The interaction, the collision. But your heart stores all this. It's like I said, it's shock. So it absorbs all those interactions. And so over time, it builds up, builds up, builds up. That's what all this regrets and all that stuff that you build over life, and it's got you down, and you can't interact with people, and you fear people, and you don't like people because all this stuff happened in your life. Because that's heart memory. That's heart, because you can remember the brain and still react to that, but that's your heart, because all that years your heart absorbed all that stuff. That's what Scientology claims to get rid of. All they do is like you take your car has got all kinds of bumps on it to a place, and they take and paint over it, fill in and paint over it. The bumps are still there. The bumps are still there. It's just covered up. So Scientology really haven't solved any problem for you. Just cover it up. Now it looks okay. They walk around, look okay, come out clear. They're not clear. But slots removed is a dent remover. Remove them. That's why it says you cannot get in the kingdom unless you have a child's heart. What do you mean? You have a heart free of all those dents. And slots, remove those dents. You keep doing it, because you bit so many dents a day. Every time you can't, we interact with people every day. So some are really bad reactions, depending on what you're doing. Some are mild. See, but when you recite, you remove dents. The point is you got to figure out how many dents you're removing, by how many slots you're making. So if you're making half-hour slots every day, that might be, and you build up 100 dents every day, and you say you build up 100 dents every day, but you make it a half an hour, make a half-hour slot a day, right? And say you build up 100 dents a day, but half an hour slots only move 50 dents, right? You still got 50 dents left. So you're taking that to the next day. So now you pick up another 100. So you actually build up. So it's helping you, but it's slowing down, right? The destruction. But if you say make 100, then you feel like, oh, well, if I make 2 hours worth, if I make an hour slot, that knocks out 100. Bam, then you knock it out for that day. So every day you're knocking out the dents that you accumulate in that day. But all the dents you had before is still there. All you did was the ones that you had for that day. So say you haven't been doing slots for 20 years. So now you got 20 years worth of dents on your heart that's still there. All you're doing is removing the ones that you count every day. So now you have to say, okay, I bump my slots up to an hour and a half. So now you're removing old dents. So it might take you 6 months or whatever to clear your heart totally. See, then your heart's clear. You got a pure heart again. See, and all that stuff. Now your memory's still there. Now you remember all the things happening. So, and that's good memory because now you don't make those stupid mistakes again, but you're not influenced spiritually and emotionally with it. You're not doing, there's not spiritual emotional baggage anymore. You're not, you know, so all these issues you're having, you understand, with people and what they call it, what's people, what's this thing they call people when you got a, I can't think of the name of that for nothing, right? You know, whatever they say, you know, I got this so-called syndrome where you know, you just can't control your emotion, whatever. I think of it. See, but that's all that. That's all that is. That's, you know, of course you think, of course you to put the work in, right? So understand that the dent remover, right, also makes your heart firm. Why make your heart firm? Because right now, the loose your heart, you know, the less firm your heart is, it's being influenced by other hearts. That's what we want to get into in a second here. So that means now your heart is vibrating and everything, and remember that affects your thoughts. So now, if your heart is vibrating on someone else's frequency, that means you're being affected by their thoughts. So your thoughts is not purely your thoughts. So in other words, if their frequency outweigh, you know, their frequency and their amplitude and everything, right, is greater than yours, they overcome your thoughts, and now they control your thoughts. You may not even realize it. May not realize either. But you've been affected by their thoughts. You're being controlled by their thoughts. And that's happening to us here in America. Because right now, right, our thoughts, we right in the heart of the center of the storm, right in the heart of the beast. And they got all these evil thoughts by nature. So therefore we're picking up all their vibes, and so therefore it's affecting our thoughts. And we're doing all kinds of stuff we don't have no business doing. We think we're working against ourselves and everything else. But we're also affecting theirs. Because our positive thoughts, right, are being drowned, but it's affecting theirs. So in other words, it's civilizing them, making them less a beast than they would have been if we weren't here. So at the time we civilize them, at the same time they turn us to a beast. It's like a transformation. Our hearts turn into a beast, their hearts being civilized. But our hearts are civilized and theirs, their hearts are turning our hearts to a beast. That's why we need total separation. Because now we become the beast and they've become the civilized. Because we civilized them at the same time, but they transform us to a beast. Because that's a transformation. See? You put water and dirt together, right? What does the water do? Right? It turns into mud, so it makes the dirt less dirt, right? But the water becomes less water. See, because you got mud there. And so, but once you heat up put some sunlight, right? That water draws the sunlight and leaves the dirt behind. Brother says, it's all mathematics. Nothing spooky or mystery about that. That's why Sulaiman is drawing this water away from this. I told you, the light's coming on. And now it's going to reveal everything. So it's going to draw the water away. See, because demons are part of the dirt. You see? But as long as they're mud, then they can hide amongst us. Once the light's coming on, it's drawing that water away. And once that water's drawn away, it's pure. We transform in twinkle of an eye. And the dirt is pure dirt. The dust that Adam came from dust thou art, from dust thou shalt return. See, we transformed you to mud, we made you better than what you was, but now we're taking that water away and turning you back to the dust you were. But so when you really start studying the scripture, you see all the stuff saying the same thing. So here we talking about, right? Because when you hear something, it goes straight to the heart, don't go straight to the brain, right? Because when somebody startled you, what? Your heart first reacts, and then your brain tries to figure out what's going on. So you thought it went straight to your brain. No, it goes straight to your heart. See, your ears next to the brain, but it goes straight to your heart first, right? You know that, and you had any experience, you know that's true. Because you get startled, right? Your heart gets to racing, then your brain start looking around trying to figure what the hell is happening and decide whether you need to be startled or not. See? So, what we hear affects our heart, and also the vibrations from the heart, from other hearts we pick up. So we pick it up two ways. Two ways. That's the other way I want to talk about the hearing part, right? See, I never really talked about in detail. So I talk about the vibration part. Because we picked up everybody's, we all picked up, and once your heart gets firm, then you can start distinguishing your vibrations, right, from other frequencies, other vibrations. Then you start knowing whose thoughts. See, then you realize you pick up their thoughts because now you realize the distinction between, see, no, right, it's like mud. So you think all the same thing. Once you separate the water, they say, oh, that's water and this is dirt. So you say, oh, this is my thought, and that thought, that right there, is coming from that person right there. That's their thought. See? Because you're picking up right now, but it's picking up like mud because your heart is not firm enough to distinguish. So you think all this your thoughts. Because a lot of your thoughts right now, you always pick up other people's thoughts, but you think it's yours because your heart's not firm enough to distinguish. Like when you're in a room, when everybody's talking, you can't tell who's saying what because everybody's talking. Say, hey, be quiet, I'm trying to think. You can't even tell your own thought. They'll say, hey, I can't think because you can't even think yourself if everybody's talking. Because everybody be quiet, so now you can get your thoughts together. See, that connection between us and them, you don't understand that. And that's the problem. That's why Suleiman has to come. That's why I say the heart is deceitful above all things. Who could know it? But Suleiman knows it. That's why he's got to explain this to you so you understand it. That's why you know the only solution is to get away from these people. See, Lion Farrakhan, he doesn't know, even if he did know it, that wouldn't be his solution because he's one of them. They said, please don't take me out of the country. Because if we took him out of the country, right, then he wouldn't have the advantage anymore. Because his people got the advantage because it's most of them, so their hearts overwhelm our hearts. But if those demons came out of the country with us, our hearts overwhelm them, and we'll crush them. Because right away we'll see how evil they were right away. Long as he can hide, long as he's over here. That's why he doesn't say. That's why he said, "Mark, please don't make me leave the country." Okay, so let's see before I go to the next one. Make sure. Okay, so you see, the heart is picking up the vibrations. That's the hearing. It picks that up. See, ear picks all that up. But it also picks up the voice. The ear picks up the vibration. It's picking up vibration all everybody's heart. Elijah Muhammad said, you say, when you tune in, you hear a voice. Because why? Because it's coming through the ear. Both is coming through the ear. One's coming from voice, one's coming from vibration of heart. Both are coming from the ear. One, that's the ear picking up. You're not conscious of that right now. Because you're picking it up, but you don't understand the distinction between yours and theirs. I just mentioned that. See, but the voice part, you can distinguish that one, usually unless it's a crowded room again. See, so you pick it up both ways. The vibration of the heart and the voice from the heart. Because when the voice comes from the heart. So you got two ways of picking information from the heart. The vibration of the heart and the voice. See? And so here's the heart over here. It's like a tuning fork. It's like, it's like a receptor receiving, it's receiver, but it's also determined, right? It's tuning fork, how firm it is. And then that information goes to the brain. Goes from ear to the heart, then to the brain. So you thought it went straight to the brain, back to the heart. No. It goes to the heart, then to the brain. Okay, so we're going to get to the main topic here. Let me go, see. Okay, now let's back up. Okay, right here we get to the main topic. So we're talking about angel warrior. So now, when you recite the Quran, right, your heart becomes more firm. What does that do? That makes your voice more firm. That makes your voice more firm. The vibrations, because your voice is current, right? It's vibrations, like in music, because that Mo Memorex commercial, the woman's, and then bam, she cracked the glass. That's resonance. That's another topic. See, resonance is that you hit the same vibrations, right? The same frequency, and so the waves pick up, right? But they can like build up on each other because it's like if I take concrete and I take a nail, just a nail, and I keep tapping on the concrete, just keep tapping, on the same point, right? Now it depends on how hard I'm tapping, right? Eventually, now if I'm tapping slow, it's still going to build up, as long as it's within the range of the frequency, right? It's going to crack that concrete. That's what resonance is. See, resonance means, keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Oh, that they call that insanity. See, insanity, the definition of insanity is doing the same over and over again, but expecting a different result. Isn't that perseverance? That means you keep doing the same over and over again because you don't stop, you keep on, you're firm. See, they tell you that because that's another one of their false visions, the lies that confuse you, because they use perseverance. They tell you because if it don't work right away, stop. Because they're trying to keep you from persevering, from being strong, being your mind. If it don't work right away, drop it. So therefore, you never have the perseverance. That means you're never going to get anywhere. Because life is all about perseverance. Keep going. Every messenger prophet is about stubbornness. They kept on going no matter what, how dark it was. Elijah Muhammad kept on teaching no matter, even they put him in jail and everything else. And look, eventually he broke through. Same thing with Prophet Muhammad. They kept against him, he persevered. But they tell you, do the same over and over again, expect different results, different insanity. You believe that. But you remember the story about Jericho in the Bible? There was an impenetrable wall that nobody could break. The enemies was hiding behind the wall. And God told them to go around saying the same song over and over again for 7 days. That's perseverance. And after 7 days, the whole wall's crumbling down. But they tell you the opposite. Like I said, 90%, everything the devil tells you, almost all of it, whatever they tell you, the opposite is probably true. Perseverance is the most powerful force. I've been persevering on this subject for 30 years. And I was doing it when nobody was listening to anything. And still a lot of people not listening. A lot of people more listening than you think they'll listen. But for 30 years, it was like silence out there. And if I hadn't continued doing it, nobody would be hearing it now. Because I knew, right, how hard my people's head are because the enemy made it that way. So I knew how long it's going to take me to keep on banging at it, banging at it, banging at it, banging at it until it cracked. That's why it says in Ezekiel, it says, my people's head are like stone rocks. So I made Suleiman's head like Flintstone, because Flintstone breaks rocks. So you're going to say, we're hard-headed people because we made that away. Okay, so when you recite the angel, the more you recite it, the more firm your voice becomes. Remember, your heart is picking up both. It's picking up the vibrate of other hearts, but it's also picking up the voice of people. And so therefore, and if your voice, your frequency, right, amplitude and all that frequency is greater than the heart you talk to, it's going to affect the heart. The more the firmer, the more it's going to affect the heart. It can get so that it can actually stop that heart. If it's strong enough, it can stop that heart. See? It can engage that heart. It can electrify the heart. It can do all kinds of things. Because anytime somebody listens to you, it's going to affect their heart. But it depends on the intensity of your voice, the frequency, the amplitude, right? All of that. The vibrations, right? That's how much their hearts can be affected. Because you're affected by everybody's voice when you hear it. How you affect it. Now, some people, you got people out there, you got demons out there that really get, right? Because they operate on friction and everything, because your heart is so weak that they can get your heart jumping. Like when they say music, right? You start moving in group, right? Because it's had a frequency that, hey, they get your heart moving. It's not getting your brain moving, it's getting your heart moving. Because music and everything comes from the heart. See? That's why it's so powerful. Our music is more powerful on them than on us. That's why you see all their children, especially the males around here, well, rap music and everything. They buy more rap music. You know, they're the ones that make those rappers rich, not you. Because they got the money, they buy all that stuff. Because it affects them more. That's because our heart's much stronger, much firmer and everything by nature than theirs are. Even though I was all messed up right now. But our music is coming from there. And so when you are a warrior, this is one of your most powerful weapons. You recite that Quran, that means your voice is coming firmer and stronger, right? And so therefore, that voice hitting a heart that's not that firm, it's going to cause the heart to tremble. If the heart's really weak, it can stop it. That's why someone run away from you to get angry and everything. Why do you get angry? Why do you get upset? That's from the heart, not from the brain. Because their heart can't take it. That's the reaction you're getting. I don't hear that shit. Get away. Because they can't handle it. The heart can't handle it. So they want to run away from it. They want to get rid of you. Read about Stephen. He was telling they put their hands on the ears and everything. Don't say nothing. Get away from me. Because they were trying to block that vibration of your voice, the frequency and the intensity and the amplitude. They're trying to block it. They put hands on the ears because it was affecting their heart. That's why it was reacting that way. They wouldn't be reacting that way if it was just affecting their brain. They were acting on an intellectual level, not an emotional, physical level. So when you're talking, you speaking directly to their heart. And so the more you recite, the more influence you're going to have on their heart. Like I said, if they got a these demons, they definitely cannot handle your voice. They do not want to be around you. They get rid of you. They do everything they can because they got real wicked. Remember, the heart is desperately wicked. Who could know it? Their hearts cannot take this message. Their hearts cannot take this message. The devil's heart can't take it either. See? They will get rid of you, get rid of everything. Can't take it. So the more firm it is, the more like you can stop their heart. Some people actually get a heart attack when they hear certain things. Because why they get a heart attack? From hearing something somebody said or a loud noise. If it wasn't going straight to their heart. You don't get a heart attack because you heard from your mind. They're loud, boom, heart, right? Or they heard somebody say something and they went to heart attack. Because your voice was more powerful than their heart. Because remember, what you come from your voice is coming from your heart. Your heart was stronger than theirs, and your heart knocked them out. See, because you're going in, bam, you're going in battle. See, you think you battle with your hands and arms. I'm telling left hook, right hook. No, you battling with heart. It's a heart battle. Heart war. See, so when you're talking like that, I'm talking about the vibration because they picked it up. I'm talking about from your voice. So you're doing battle with these hearts out here because it's coming from your heart, through your voice, through their ear, back to their heart. That's why you're getting the reaction you're getting. Man, stop that. I don't hear that. Man, get away. Man, why are you saying stuff? See? So you're doing battle with their heart. That's an angel warrior. The more you say the Quran, the more powerful your voice is. Right? That's a dagger right to their heart. So their heart's a wicked heart. Now the original heart, right? See? They stop, because that's a frequency that they're familiar with. They may have forgotten it because they overwhelmed our hearts, but it's a free. So in other words, they might start responding as hearts start getting stronger. See, because it's something they're familiar with, because you're talking on their wavelength, by their natural wavelength. See, they got imposed wavelength, they got imposed frequency, right? They got imposed amplitude from being surrounded by these devils in the situation, right? But their natural is still there. And so if it ever totally be wiped out, see? So when you speak, you get that heart memory, that sounds a little familiar. And they want to listen a little more. So your heart start moving on. So because you're helping their heart to come back to itself. That's what you're doing. You're helping their heart, reviving their heart back to their normal frequency, normal amplitude, right? That's what you're doing. That's the original hearts. But the wicked hearts, you're destroying them. Because they can't come back, then you destroy them. They run away, they want to kill you, everything else. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. That's angel warrior. Angel warrior. Because like right now, I'm speaking to your heart. So when you go out there, you speak to their hearts. That's what you're doing. That's one of your main weapons. Angel's a weapon too. That's one of your main weapons. So angel is a weapon of the mind. The voice, the reciting is the engine, right? That's from the heart. That's the heart war. So you got two weapons. Reciting, that's a weapon you go to war with against the hearts, because we're in a heart war. Also the mind war, that's angels, that's the weapon for that one. Turn the lights on. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So we're not going to go into all the other ones that much. I'll say briefly, right? If you have a balance. Everybody has the same amount of energy. So if you doing this capitalism thing and chasing after money, and you have more energy, take more energy than you're supposed to have, then you create all kinds of drama in your life. You create those hurricanes in your life, those tornadoes in your life, those earthquakes in your life. You create those life. Every action has an obstacle. reaction, right? So you're creating your future because you're a time traveler. So your future, you're creating your future. You made your future. See? Right now, most of you are help creating your enemy's future. If you create your enemy's future, that means you're destroying your future, right? You're destroying your future, destroying yourself. Elijah Muhammad had us start creating our own future. That's why they shut it down. Gave us our own vision. We start creating our own vision, own future. Your future is what you made it, not because of some prophecy or anything, because all they do is wrote down based on what they saw you doing, they wrote down the consequence of it. You're not determined by that. You're not controlled by that. Your future is what you make. Every action has absolute reaction. A reaction is a future action, a future result of a current action. Let me say that again. A reaction is a future result of a current action. That means if you make an action right now, a second later would be the reaction. A second later is in the future, isn't it? Because the reaction comes after the action. So after means it's in the future. Anything that happens after, because the reaction doesn't come unless you have the action. So your future is all, your future is a result of your current actions. No, nothing else. You create your future. That's why his kids are so dumbed down and everything, the dumb barrier, because their parents tell them everything. No, their future depends on their faith in Jesus, not on their actions, their personal actions. Just what Jesus. So they don't. So why study? I mean, if it's up to Jesus what happens, so why study? Why learn mathematics? Why learn logic and reason when it doesn't count? Because they tell you to shut you down right away. Shut up, boy. Shut up, girl. Well, don't be questioning me about Jesus. You better just believe in Jesus, or you going to hell forever and ever and ever. You're going to burn forever and ever and ever. Logic doesn't apply because you can't answer any questions because you can't gather any answers. That's why they won't answer any questions because you have no damn answers. So you destroy their creativity, you destroy their inquisitive, you destroy their reason and logic in their infancy because you stifle it. No, do not answer questions. Do not think. Do not use reason and logic. Just believe in Jesus, and that's going to get you through life into heaven. And you don't understand. You the dumb barrier, destroying your children. And then you wonder, man, how come you getting in trouble all the time? How come you failing in school? How come you can't figure it out? How come you doing this dumb shit? Because you're taught them to do that dumb shit. Because you took the logic and reason, you destroyed it in an infancy, right? And you replace it with ignorance. Just believe in Jesus. And where'd you get that from? From your enemy. So when you think Jesus was backing the enemy when he was genocide, when he was killing people and stole his land and raping you, all the stuff they were doing, you think Jesus was with them? And you have no damn sense? No. Why? Because you can't reason this out. Why? Because you don't have a sense of reason and logic anymore. Why? Because you think all you got to do is believe in Jesus. And why you do that? Because that's what Master told you, and you still a fear of Master. And why you still in fear of Master? Because you got a weak heart. Because you don't have control, you have full knowledge of yourself. So he done gave you his wicked heart. So now you're afraid of him. So that kills all your reason and logic, destroyed it. I'm just gonna believe what Master say. Because I don't want Master to kick my ass. Right? Because I got Master's picture on the wall. And if I don't do what Master tell me, that white Jesus up there, I'm gonna burn in hell forever and ever and ever. Brothers and sisters, you can stay in that trap, and then you're trapping your children in that. You're gonna see that trap? No, you can't see it. Because that's why the four winds have hit your ass. Because you got to be shocked back into reason and logic. Because you're hungry and you're scared, and when you're hungry and you got the wolves closing in on you, right? Then you start thinking logically then and reasonably then. That's when life come on. That's what it's going to take to do it, brothers and sisters. Because you're not going to say, like I said, we firm our voice. Some of you, right? We can penetrate and get your heart to start moving in the right direction. But most of you, right, it's going to take the four winds to do it, to shock you to come back to reality, the true reality of mathematics. That's what current justice, balance. Everybody gets $1,000 a day, so to speak. Now you're going to rip people off for $500 a day. So now you got $500 worth of bad luck. So all of a sudden now you got all this stuff in your life. You got this problem, that problem. You just had a car accident, right? Your wife's sick, your husband's sick, whatever. Your children are messed up, right? Come out with autism, all kind of stuff, right? Because now you got this negative to the extent that you rip it off. You think, oh, I got all this money. And so, so yeah, but you got all this hell, you got earthquakes in your life, you got tornadoes, hurricanes. Look at your Prince and Michael, right? They had all that money and all the power and everything. What? Why was they on drugs? If that was what it's all about. So they got all this stuff in your life, all these hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquake, all that kind of stuff. You created those things because you don't understand justice. You understand the balance. That's what the Quran says. Spend out what we have given you. Spend out what we have given you. This book, there's no doubt in it. It's God those keep their duty, believe unseen, right? Keep a prayer, spend out what we have given you. That's most of the principles right there. Believing unseen, what? Mathematics is unseen, but it's visible everywhere. You can't see mathematics, but it's visible everywhere because everything around you is mathematics. Everything. Show me one thing around is not mathematics. Oh, I got the soul. Show me that soul that you say that you got. Soul just means body. That's all it is. So it becomes a living soul, becomes a body. But now you think it's some special thing that you got inside of you. Believe in unseen. Believe in mathematics. Keep up prayer. Recital. See? Spend out what I've given you. Right? Currents. Balance. Stay within how much energy you have that you're given, because we all have the same amount. But go out and take more, and then you kick your balance off. So now you got hurricanes and earthquakes stuff in your life. You can't understand where it's coming from. Quran tells you where it's coming from. It says it's coming from your own hands. You create that future for yourself. See? So once you do that, you can walk a tightrope, right? And you just like that gyroscope, no winds, anything. Because we walk a tightrope right now. Because we suffer from energy deprivation. So that means like a budget. You ain't got enough energy, so you have to use. You don't have enough energy to maintain yourself. So you figure, I ain't got that much energy, so I got to take care of my kids. I got to take care. I got to pay the rent. I got to see. That's a budget. So you got to figure out how to balance all that stuff. Otherwise, okay, well, I'm gonna go to the NFL game. That means now your children hungry, or you may out in the street because you didn't pay the rent. So right now we got to figure out how the energy we have, how to use it, so we can walk this tightrope, right? This 400-year tightrope that we walking through America, this furnace, right? Without falling off. Okay? But if you got hurricanes and stuff going in and everything else, that's because you don't have a balance, brothers. It's because you believe in that Christianity stuff and that capitalism, all that kind of stuff. Go for it. It's up to you. And then energy, right? How much energy you have. See, that gets back into mass time acceleration equals force. Acceleration is energy. Imagine just how much of it is. That gets back to eating. Control your eating. 1 meal a day, 1 meal a day, 1 meal 3 days. It doesn't say stop your calories. You can eat 300 calories a day, but you eat 100 calories in the morning, 100 in the afternoon, 100 in the evening. That means you burn your body up. You burn yourself up. You're aging quick because you burn yourself up. You never give the body rest. If somebody worked you 24/7 and never gave you any rest, when you burn up, that's what you're doing to your body. You never giving it rest. So instead of eating 100 calories in the morning, 100 in the afternoon, 100 in the evening, right? Why not eat 300 in the evening? Still get the same amount of calories, but look, you gave your body a rest, and you got more energy. Mass time acceleration equals energy, equals force. Or why not do, instead of 300, right, why not do 600 every other day, or 900 every 3 days? Still get the same amount of calories. You ain't starving. You're managing energy. So when you get used to it, you have more energy, right? When you got more energy, you can do other things we was talking about, right? You do more recital, get your voice more firm. See? Then you start affecting other hearts. So when that cop roll up on you, right? He hear that lion in your voice, and he right away he wants to get the hell up out of there. You see? But that's what he hear. You don't hear because you're used to it. See? But that's what he hear when he hears his heart start trembling. You see? So if you want that effect, get them slots down. You have to say it all at one time. You say it half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the afternoon, half in the evening, hour in the morning. However you can do it, brothers and sisters. But you still got other things to do. I'm just telling you, that's one aspect. Because other things, we don't sacrifice one thing for everything else. Or, keep everything in moderation, keep everything balanced. Got to keep everything in balance. But the more you say, Farad is 6 hours every night, 6 to 8 hours every night. Why would he do that? But he came over here, he raised up 60,000. He left Elijah Muhammad with 6,000 followers. Okay, brothers and sisters, so I hope you understand that. See, that's what I want to focus on, the heart. See, because we need to understand the heart. The heart is so powerful. Most of us don't understand. We think it's just a pump. It's far more than that. Where do you think music comes from? Music is mood. It comes from the heart. And the music in the world, our hearts are dominated. Even under all this pressure, our hearts are dominated. Whose music is dominating the planet? We ain't talking about Beethoven and all that kind of stuff, specialty stuff. Whose music is dominating the planet, all over the planet? Whose music? Ours. And they drop, they get ripping off our music, but it still comes. Blues started, go Google, I'll take my word. When was blues first started in this country? 1860s. When they first broke the chains and threw us off the. They threw us out with no money, no 40 acres of mule, no homes. We had nothing. We lived, I mean, the slave master, we didn't have those little huts he had us in. All that was taken. Everything was gone. And we was out in the wilderness with nothing. No food, nothing. Because master wasn't giving it to us anymore, so we didn't have to produce it by ourselves. We had nothing. So we had the blues. What we gonna do? I don't know what to do. Because we had to think. We never was allowed to think. So we couldn't even think. We had no idea what to do. Nothing. So we had the blues. Then 50 years later, right? We get Noble Drew Ali, Master Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, Mark and Garvey, and everything start give us some idea about where we came from and everything. Then we got a little jazzy because we started realizing, hey man, it's something to us. We started having a little understanding, man. And we started getting the right vision. They gave us the right vision. At least, pointing us in that direction. Afrocentric. So we got a little jazzy. Then 50 years later, right? See, we got the soul. See, we start loving ourselves, start thinking about ourselves, got froze and start that she can start, got a little, I got some soul in. Start loving up each other a little more and everything. And now 50 years later, we're about to make the whole world build a lease. So what kind of music is about to hit us now? Remember, all those music came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, one day there was blues. Then there was jazz. 50 years later, pop, out of nowhere. Then the soul came out because all those around my age know Motown sound came out one day, man. Right? Motown sound. Wow, where does that come from? Blue Anthony Imperials, Supremes, Temptations, right? See, remember what was the name? Whatever, right? I mean, see, Duke of Earl, all, man, bam, all that stuff, bam, out of nowhere. You see, Marvin Gaye, Miracles, Supreme. I mean, that came out, bam, it's like a flood. Motown sound. And it's about to happen again. Okay, brothers and sisters. So we're going to start last and then we're going to close it out. That's a sample of energy right there. Mass times acceleration. The greater mass, the less acceleration. The greater mass, less energy. The less mass, the more energy. So the smaller ones move faster because there's less mass, right? So if you eat a lot of food, then you have less energy, right? If you eat food all the time, you have less energy. Less food all the time, right? More energy. I'm not saying cut back. That's not about cutting back on salaries. It's not about cutting back on calories, right? It's about managing it, managing energy. Then finally, harmony. Because you put enough pressure achieves harmony, harmonic motion. See? Because everything was colliding. That's harmony, the Hajj. That's harmony all about. See, Islam puts so much. See, we can only achieve that. They can't because when they get to that point, when it builds enough pressure to cause us to go into harmony, that pressure overwhelms them and causes them, it crushes them. They cannot achieve harmony. They can't. The pressure it takes to achieve that is a pressure that overwhelms them, crushes them. So when this pressure right now that's crushed it, because we can transform it in the blink of an eye, that pressure can cause us to move into harmonic motion. That's what Hajj is all about. See? So in other words, no collisions there. Harmonic motion. See? But right now, they're in collisions. And the collision is so great, see, that they can't handle it. It's going to crush them. But this war and everything, they all, like I said, the Quran said they're going to surge against each other because now the pressure is great. They're colliding and they're going to destroy each other. But that same pressure causes us to be in harmonic mode, to be in harmony. And be harmony forever. We'll build a kingdom that will last forever, will never be destroyed. See? Why is that? See? Because we reach a level of harmony. See? So the kingdom will not, it continue forever and ever and ever, just get better and better and better and better and better. See? That's why it will never be destroyed, given other people. See? Only our hearts can do that, because we got the original heart. But right now, see, because it took our heart to civilize them. That's we can't make the sacrifice. But look, we paid a price for it. But no other hearts could did it. Because you see what happened, they were the original people, the Native Americans, but their hearts was crushed. They destroyed their hearts. They tried to destroy ours. They tried to obliterate us. They couldn't. See? But we civilized them, gave a period of civilization. Okay. That's the Hajj. Okay. That's what we're trying to achieve. That's what Islam, that's what we're trying to, Hajj, that's beautiful. That's one of the most beautiful attributes. That's what we're trying to achieve. That's what we're going to achieve. See? So like I said, at Thorough Novice, we're going to talk about this briefly, but the planet Earth goes around the sun. There's two, you have the solstice and equinox. Two solstice, two equinox, right? That's what the real Ramadan is. The Ramadan that Elijah Muhammad gave us is the correct one, December, because there's 4 parts. Because the Quran says 4 holy months. Ramadan is just one of them. 4 of them. But they're on the lunar count. The Quran says only 12 months a year, but the lunar count has more than 12 months. So that means they all wrong. They all wrong. They don't know what they're talking about over there. See? And that's all going to be straightened out. See, because it says they're going to be crushed over there too and forced into submission. So that's what it is. So December is one of them, right? So right now, June, this is one of the holy months. Now, I'm not telling anybody to go fast and all that kind of stuff because we ain't ready for that right now. We're still suffering any deprivation. If you can do it, you do it. But this one of holy month. June is one of holy months. That's what I'm talking about right now. See? June, September, December, March. That's the 4. Elijah Muhammad gave us December as Ramadan because it was the shortest days, because it was difficult for us to do it at all. That's all about, brothers and sisters. I'm not going to talk about it here outside. We're going to talk about this sometime, but I'll just mention this. You see how that represents the earth going around the sun. Now, if you see these triangles here, you got the green triangle, the brown triangle, the blue triangle. Okay. That represents the space, a space that the earth, when it's going through it, when it's going through, like from here to here, if you can see that, we'll see that the triangle that it creates. Okay. What that means is it sweeps out the same amount of space equal amount of time. So that means, let's see how you say that. Okay. For this one, see the blue, for the equal to the brown over here, the light brown. for the blue over here to equal light brown, that means the Earth has to move much faster because you multiply how fast it's going by how much space it creates. So both are equal because it's moving faster when the sweep out this blue space than it does to sweep out this light brown space. So when the Earth is further away from the sun, it's moving slower to create that much space. But when it's closer to the sun, it moves much faster. So when you take the space and the time together, both equal. It's like saying mass times acceleration, right? So equals 12. So the mass is 1, the acceleration is going to be 12. If the mass is 3, the acceleration is going to be 4. If the mass is 6, the acceleration is going to be 2. It's still coming out 12. That's what you have here. So in other words, the speed times the space. So the speed is going to be slower, right? But you have more space. Here it's going to be faster, but you have less space. Okay? On the blue, the Earth's going to move faster, but you have less space. But for here, it's going to move slower, but you have that much space. You have more space. You understand? Same thing for the green and the brown. So it's an equation. I'm not going to the equation about it, but it's an equation. See, it says equal space and equal time. So I leave it like that. So one day we're going to more, because that's a very simple calculation. Because the Earth actually moves faster when it's closer to the sun than when it's further away from the sun. Okay? So I just pointed out. Another thing you might not really know this, but you have two hemispheres. We're in the summer now, but down in Brazil and South America, they're in the winter. They're the opposite. So I'm not going to that. It's another little thing I thought I mentioned. Okay, finally, the angel. That's your other sword. That's the mental sword. See, makes you a prophet. See, foresight. Once you learn the base of the angel, that qualifies you to be a prophet. You need to know angel key how it works. And the more you study it, the sharper your swords become. So first learn the basics. Your angel warriors out there, first learn the basics. Learn chapter 4, how the key works. Then start studying other chapters, right? The next one, probably the next 5 is probably the simplest one, chapter 20, chapter 12. Those are the basic ones, right? And sharpen those swords. Upload the angel mind. Get that angel mind going. See? So now you got the heart. That's one weapon, right? That's your voice, right? And your study. That's for angel key. That's your other weapon. So one for the mind, one for the heart. The Quran for the heart, angel key for the mind. Have both. See? That's why I said Farah is a walking, talking Quran, because he recited the Quran 6 to 8 hours a night. Suleiman is a walking, talking angel because he's broke the seals on the angel. That's your other sword. Sharpen that sword, brothers and sisters. Sharpen that sword for the mind, sharpen that sword for the heart. It's up to you, brothers and sisters, angel warrior. Don't distort the message. That's what you got all the things you need. Plus study and pressure. Okay? You slaying those demons. The more you study angel, you study angel, because the scripture, angel, you destroy the demons, that whole vision, destroy it. You study, Exodus, that's destroyed. Farrakhan right there. There's no way he's destroyed because he can't hide. He hide behind that in the darkness. He hide behind scripture in the darkness. When you turn a light on, boom, he's gone. Okay? And then when you're citing it and you're talking that firm voice and everything, you're destroying them, destroying their hearts. They get away from you. They can't stand it. You don't see it, but their heart's trembling. That Scientology and everything, their heart's trembling when they hear you. The more you recite, see, their heart might explode. As the Quran said, the heart might explode in their chest. So their hearts might explode in their chest. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Hi, salam alaikum.